Chapter 1. Silence. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe and drop a like. On a cold January morning in 2027, the private jet belonging to the world's tech giant was scheduled to take off from a Texas airport. The flight planned for 8:30 a.m. never happened. Air traffic control reported that the plane never even reached the runway. Pilot Michael Harrison had flown the same route for 15 years, and nothing like this had ever occurred before. In the first few hours, no one grasped the gravity of the situation. Assistant Sarah Chun kept checking the morning's calendar. Maybe a last-minute meeting had come up, or there was a technical issue. Head of Security Thomas Wayne re-reviewed every security camera, but found nothing unusual. At 10 a.m., the first real signs of worry began. Company executives were called into an emergency meeting. At noon, a second round of calls went out with the same result: no trace. By 3 p.m., the press office was still silent. No statement had been made. That day, Tesla stock fell 10%. SpaceX's planned Starship launch was postponed. On Wall Street, the first signs of concern appeared. Goldman Sachs analysts convened an urgent meeting. The sudden silence of one of the most recognizable names in tech sent ripples through the markets. Bloomberg and Reuters reporters began gathering in front of the company headquarters. Employees looked uneasy. No one knew what to say. On the evening news, the situation was just a brief item. Tech entrepreneur misses scheduled meeting. No one realized this was only the beginning. Around midnight, security teams ran one last sweep of all systems. Building entry and exit logs were examined. The last confirmed sighting was at 10:30 p.m. the previous night, caught on a security camera leaving his office. His car sat in the lot with the keys inside. Chapter 2. Chaos. By the second day, things grew even more mysterious. Company leaders held emergency sessions. Marketing Director Jennifer Walsh drafted crisis management plans. Spokespeople said it was a temporary situation, but their tone betrayed concern. The first theories started circulating on social media. On Reddit's r/conspiracy, hundreds of comments piled up. Hashtags formed on Twitter. Facebook groups buzzed with speculation. On TikTok, younger users made lighthearted videos, but the seriousness of the situation wasn't yet fully appreciated. By the third day, major media organizations locked onto the story. Headlines blared, "We've lost track of the tech genius." CNN's tech editor Rachel Stone prepared a special segment. The BBC's science reporter Dr. James Mitchell published an analysis. Reuters assembled a dedicated team to follow the developments minute by minute. Amanda Foster, a technology writer at the New York Times, began receiving leaks from inside the company. Employees, speaking anonymously, voiced their concerns. "We've never seen anything like this," one source said. "Normally we always know where he is." On the fourth day, the FBI stepped in. Special Agent David Rodriguez opened an investigation into a possible abduction. But there was no ransom demand, no threats, only an absence, an inexplicable silence. By the seventh day, Tesla had lost 30% of its value. SpaceX investors went into panic mode. Even other tech giants were affected. Apple, Google, Microsoft, shares across the board fell. The markets were witnessing how the disappearance of a single person could shake the global economy. By the 15th day, social media was completely out of control. The hashtag where is he trended on Twitter. Millions shared their own theories. Some said he'd been kidnapped, others that he was in hiding by choice, and more still that he had secretly flown to Mars. Conspiracy channels on YouTube racked up millions of views. Experts debated for hours on podcasts. Netflix rushed into an emergency documentary project. Hollywood producers began drafting scripts. Every day, the media fed the public new speculation. CNN aired special bulletins. Fox News hosted its own experts. MSNBC went live around the clock. Analysts appeared on television to weigh in. Journalists searched for clues worldwide. None found anything concrete. Chapter 3. Traces. On the 23rd day of his disappearance, an unusual discovery was made in the Nevada desert. A group of hikers stumbled upon an abandoned facility. Group leader Mark Thompson, a former geologist who knew the area well, noticed the structure by pure chance, something he had never seen before. The building, once a research center, had allegedly been used for secret military projects in the 1990s. It had sat empty for years, and the inside was thick with dust and sand. Metal doors were rusted, windows cracked. Yet there were signs that someone had been there recently. While rummaging through a trash bin inside, they found a notebook. Black leather-bound, roughly 200 pages, the first 50 filled, the rest blank. The pages were covered in handwriting, dense with complex drawings, rocket diagrams, mathematical equations, and technical notes. A few pages stood out. Page 15, Plasma Propulsion Systems and Efficiency Calculations. Page 23, Mars Atmospheric Entry Angle Optimization. Page 31, Quantum Propulsion Theoretical Framework. Page 47, Echo Project, Phase 1 complete, initiating Phase 2. The most intriguing section was under the heading Echo Project. The notes were cryptic: time loop completed, parallel reality test successful, primary timeline return protocol active. The FBI took possession of the notebook. Special Agent Lisa Parker sent it to handwriting experts at Quantico. Graphologist Dr. Robert Kim produced a 40-page report analyzing the script. There was no definitive conclusion. There weren't enough samples for comparison. The media turned the find into a major story. Is the missing genius hiding in the Nevada desert? Blared headlines. The Washington Post published photos from the notebook. Scientific American ran an article on the plausibility of the formulas. MIT's Professor Dr. Elena Rodriguez examined the equations. This is indeed advanced rocketry, she said. But we can't say for sure who wrote it. Stanford physicist Dr. Michael Chun was more skeptical. You can find most of this online. The evidentiary value is weak. Experts pored over the contents. The formulas did seem genuinely related to space technology, but whether they belonged to the missing figure remained unclear. Similar notes could have been assembled through diligent internet research. After the discovery, search and rescue teams flooded the Nevada desert. A 12-person unit from Las Vegas combed the area meter by meter. Helicopters, search dogs, thermal cameras, ground-penetrating radar. Every tool was deployed. After 5 days of intense searching, no further trace was found. Chapter 4, The Return. On the morning of the 47th day, something extraordinary happened at SpaceX's California headquarters. Security cameras captured a familiar silhouette walking into the facility. Carlos Martinez, the morning shift guard, couldn't believe his eyes. He rubbed the monitor as if he were seeing things. At 6:45 a.m., the world saw him again. He looked exhausted, his hair longer, his face marked by a long journey. He wore plain jeans and a black t-shirt. His shoes were dusty, as if he'd been walking for miles. Employees froze. Some cheered with relief, others just stared. The first to see him, engineer Jennifer Wu, dropped her coffee. "Is this real?" she whispered to herself. Production director David Kim called the top brass. HR specialist Lisa Chun, unfamiliar with any protocol for this, didn't know what to do. As soon as the press got wind, they raced to the site. CNN broke the news. Breaking: missing tech visionary reappears after 47 days. The BBC, Reuters, and the Associated Press pushed the story within minutes. Hundreds of reporters, camera operators, and photographers packed the front gates. Outside the Hawthorne facility, it looked like a movie premiere. Helicopter News 7 provided live aerial coverage. Everyone asked the same questions. Where had he been? What had he done? Why had he vanished? Security tried to keep the press away from the premises. Police backup was requested. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department sent units to maintain order. The street was closed to traffic. He refused to answer any questions. He heard them, but walked on as if they weren't there. He met briefly with his staff, telling them work had to continue. "Don't pause our projects. Time is too valuable," he said. In the afternoon, as he left the building, he spoke a single sentence to the press: "You're not ready yet." His voice was tired but resolute. With that, he got into a black Tesla Model S and drove off. The cryptic line sparked a fresh wave of speculation. Not ready for what? What vast plan required more time? The media dissected the sentence from every angle. Linguists, psychologists, even astrologers weighed in. Chapter 5, Doubt. 3 days after his return, the situation grew even more tangled. A WikiLeaks-style platform called TechLeaks announced it had received security camera footage from an anonymous source. The videos appeared to show him in an unknown underground facility during the missing period. The footage was crystal clear, 4K resolution with pristine audio. He wore a white lab coat, and worked with unfamiliar devices. Around him were unrecognized scientists, 3 women, 2 men, seemingly between 30 and 50 years old. The first video ran 3 minutes and 47 seconds. He stood beside a massive hologram device projecting a 3D model of Mars. He pointed to spots on the surface. There was audio, but it was so faint that nothing intelligible could be made out. The second video lasted 8 minutes and 12 seconds. In a different room, he stood before wall-to-wall displays. The screens showed complex equations, space charts, and unidentifiable technical schematics. He looked like he was working around the clock. The third, and most startling, video was 15 minutes long. In it, he seemed to be talking to himself. No one else appeared on camera, but he asked questions and paused, as if listening to answers. "Is the time loop complete?" he asked. Then, after a quiet moment, "We can proceed to phase 3. The media made the footage a global spectacle. Secret project or abduction? Read the cheerings. CNN hosted a 3-hour special with experts. The BBC released a technical analysis. Fox News explored conspiracy angles. MIT video forensics expert Professor Sarah Johnson examined the material. "Technically very professional," she said. "No obvious signs of editing." Stanford digital media specialist Dr. Alex Chun disagreed. "With modern deepfake tools, this is within reach." Across Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, the videos went viral. 500 million views within 48 hours. Analysts scrutinized every frame. Most leaned toward authenticity, but no definitive proof emerged. The next day, he gave a press statement. Speaking at a podium in front of the Tesla Gigafactory in Austin, he said the videos were fake, digitally manipulated. "There's an organized campaign targeting me," he stated. "These videos are entirely fabricated." He brought in his company's technical team. Lead software engineer Rachel Adams produced a detailed report. In 47 pages, she attempted to show signs of manipulation, pixel anomalies, inconsistent lighting, audio sync artifacts, everything cataloged. The statement split public opinion. Some believed him, others insisted the videos were real. Social media erupted in arguments. Hashtag fake footage and hashtag real video trended. Reddit hosted endless debate threads. Tech experts were divided as well. Some argued deep fakes had advanced this far. Others were convinced the footage was genuine. MIT, Stanford, Harvard, Caltech, top institutions weighed in, but consensus remained elusive. Epilogue. A year passed, and the 47 missing days remained one of modern history's greatest mysteries. Time magazine named it the year's most enigmatic event. Netflix released a 3-part documentary, 47 Days, A Vanishing. Amazon Prime produced a fictional series, Echo, Lost Time. Official explanations never satisfied the public. The FBI kept the case technically open, but there was no active investigation. The CIA said there was no national security issue. The NSA stayed silent. The media revisited the story from time to time. Each year, anniversary specials aired. The Washington Post ran annual analyses. The New York Times launched a book project. Some theories faded, others hardened. For conspiracy theorists, the event became a gold mine. QAnon spin-offs developed their own narratives. A subreddit, r/47day mystery, grew to 2 million members. YouTube mystery channels posted constant breakdowns. Podcasts still debated. TikTok teamed with humorous theories. On Instagram, fan pages hunted for clues. He, meanwhile, returned to normal life. His companies regained their footing. Tesla unveiled a new model. SpaceX executed a successful Mars mission. Starlink reached 1 billion users. Projects moved forward, breakthroughs followed. He acted as if nothing had happened. But those close to him noticed a change. He was more cautious, quieter. Sometimes he'd stare off, as if living in another world. Assistant Sarah Chun confided, "He isn't the same. It's like he's always thinking about something deeper. You're not ready yet," lingered in everyone's mind. Not ready for what, exactly? Would the truth come out when the time was right? Or would the secret remain a secret forever? Maybe the answer would arrive when the first colony on Mars was established. Those 47 days took their place in history as one of the most baffling disappearances of the modern era. Harvard offered a special seminar on it. Oxford launched a research project. MIT made it a master's thesis topic. Perhaps the truth would never be known. Perhaps it was one of those secrets meant to stay hidden. Or maybe, someday, it would be revealed as part of a much larger reality. The final words still belong to him. Some questions should wait until the right time for answers. The universe asks for patience.